Dale in Longmont, Colorado. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Matt?
Pretty good.
Hey, I'm a historian with a bachelor's degree.
You're kind of breaking up where it's really difficult for us to hear. So I don't know if you're listening to the stream. If so, you'll want to turn that off. By the way, it's true for anybody who calls. If you're calling and you're listening to the stream, turn off the computer and your stream and whatever else. Let's try again. Let's see if we can adjust that level.
I have the phone turned down, but bad connection. It's really fuzzy. Can you hear me now?
We can hear we can hear you, and then you're muffled, and then we hear you and you're muffled. It's really difficult.
I have to get. Is that better?
Just go ahead and start talking. We'll see if we can suss this out.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
So far. Go ahead, talk.
Okay. Hey, I have a different biblical interpretation of the Bible. I've been really outspoken with my views in my young life, and I'm having a problem with people walking around saying that they are of the Church of Dale.
You're having a problem with what?
People saying that they're of the Church of Dale. I believe you've actually been contacted by someone talking about this.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Dale.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you guys have the notes that the operator took down?
Yeah, the notes that I have are, what do we think about free will? Your cousin is a physicist. Does this make sense? And do you believe in an entropic or anti-entropic something? I don't know.
Anti-entropic universe.
Yeah, sure. As far as I can tell, and as far as the information demonstrates, entropy is increasing. Other than that, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't see evolution as a vehicle for anti-infantry?
No.
No.
How so?
I
Can you
think
defend that position?
living organisms generate so much entropy just by living that, second law is not violated.
What about our ability to organize the universe through technology?
How is that in any way relevant?
Well, the other thing is, as we organize the universe, what I would presume you're talking about by organizing the universe, we are actually introducing as much or more entropy than we are organizing. This is why perpetual motion machines are impossible.
Yeah.
I have a disagreement with you on that, but I understand that yes, the concept of energy running wild and producing continual energy is impossible.
Sure.
Okay. So what is it that you understand about entropy? Tell us what you think you know about entropy.
A system that continually moves towards a more chaotic and more diffuse energy position.
Sure.
Okay. Entropy actually doesn't have anything to do with order, disorder, chaos, or anything like that. That's actually a misinterpretation of it.
Would you explain it to me then?
Okay, it has to do with first of all, it's about a closed system. Okay, the second law of thermodynamics is a theoretical construct that concerns a closed system. Okay. When we talk about entropy increasing, that's actually about energy. Okay, it actually doesn't say anything about chaos or disorder. Okay, it's about the amount of energy that's lost to a system.
There's a colloquial understanding that is it tends towards disorder. But anyway, I don't know what your point is on this. I mean, you called in to ask us what our views were on entropy in the universe.
Matt, I'm just looking for a starting position. I don't really want to,
Well, so what is your question?
be really rude.
What is it?
I'm just trying to figure out what's the point. Because what my personal understanding or position is on the universe and entropy, I don't know how that's relevant to the show.
I think it's important for the teaching of the youth that we teach an entropic universe and in schooling. And this is a problem in my perspective because it puts a philosophy in the minds of the youth that, the product of the universe is almost meaningless or chaotic or destructive, and that nothing they do has any meaning.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Entropy has nothing to do with that. It doesn't assign meaning to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got something you object to, and you're objecting on grounds that I don't see. I don't understand. I don't even understand what your point is, because you seem to object to something that we're teaching, which is established science, which, by the way,
Yeah.
if it's wrong, you need to demonstrate it's wrong and take it up with scientists, not a local public access show. But this inference that you think people are drawing from it, which is incorrect, I don't necessarily see that that's the truth. And when I say that, I don't mean I don't think that people are necessarily drawing the inference that you think they're drawing, and I don't think that there's any grounds, rational grounds, on which to draw that inference. So I'm still left wondering what your point is.
Well, from my understanding, by nature, the understanding that we have of science is incomplete. The science that we use at the moment is simply the best that we have seen so far.
Sure.
And I think it is important that we look at the possibility of that evolution, technology combined and working with each other could produce a system of greater energy than we can perceive in the universe at our current level of scientific detection.
So to me, what I heard was we shouldn't shut down the possibility that we could create a perpetual motion machine.
If you put several single atom, single molecule engines, which use their own atomic forces to create a small electronic charge, you could create a centrifugal force device that could pump out seemingly more energy than it's creating from its individual atomic structure atoms.
Yeah, I'm really
Prove it.
intrigued by the word seemingly in there,
Yeah,
first of all.
prove it.
But in other words, the other thing, which Jen just said, is prove it. I mean, this is not a program where we're going to spend a lot of time with every hypothetical that somebody finds fascinating. It's just not part of the show. So I don't know what this has to do with anything we've ever discussed with regard to the existence of a God or religion.
Move on to something else.
Sorry?
Well, we can drop the issue and move on to something else.
Sure.
Well,
I could also just move on to another caller. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
you to a point so that we don't just waste time here.
Do so.
What's that?
I said that's your guys' choice if you wish to do so.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye.
So you can add that to the list of reasons that I'll hang up on people when they talk about nonsense for a while and suggest that it's okay if I do hang up.
Yeah. Have we ever gotten a caller that defended the idea of a perpetual motion machine?
Oh, I'm pretty sure somebody has at some point.
That's
We've had callers that...
I'm
Jen.
sure that like
There is nothing that we haven't had
you
a
know
call about at
the
this
guy
point.
talks about, well, we're teaching entropy in school. It's like, not very well, obviously.
But it's I think there was one of the points that he made, which was kind of frustrating, was this idea that people are inferring that life is then meaningless.
Yeah.
I don't know that you'd necessarily tie this to an understanding or even a misunderstanding of entropy.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you get from laws of thermodynamics to life is meaningless?
Now you could have tied that to what many theists will do, which is claim that atheists, because they don't believe in a God and don't believe in an afterlife, that therefore this life must end and then it's all meaningless. And then we could have an actual discussion about how that's just absurdly wrong. In fact, the models of religion that include an afterlife pretty much make this life meaningless.
Yeah.
It's a place to wipe your feet. Everything that happens here is, it's like dirty rags compared to your eternal afterlife.
If you hold that view, then you're not actually living your life. You're just waiting to die, because the real deal is what happens after.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why there were prohibitions against suicide, because people who had been taught these religious things would say, "Wow, wait a minute, I could just get onto the afterlife right now if I just kill myself." Oh, no, because if you kill yourself, you're playing God, and so God's going to punish you and send you to hell in that case.
Yeah.
So they kind of had to post hoc invent this rationalization for why you couldn't kill yourself. And then that's where we get to people like Andrea Yates, who kill their kids, basically sacrificing their eternal life to ensure that their kids, more than one of them in this case, get the better afterlife rather than risking their damnation, which, I have theists on occasion tell me that, that's not, no true Christian would ever do that. And I agree that I don't think most reasonable people would actually do that, but that's because I don't think they actually believe this. As a matter of doctrine, the natural extension of this doctrine, that seems to be a pretty sound action.
Yeah.